I met David when I was 22, fresh out of college, full of hope. He was 25, charming, ambitious. Everything I thought I wanted. We married 2 years later. Small wedding. Backyard. I wore my mother's dress. He cried when he saw me. I thought that meant something. For 12 years I built my life around him. I supported his career. I managed our home. I raised our children. I attended his work events. I smiled at his colleagues. I laughed at his jokes. I forgave his absences. I forgave his temper. I forgave the way he looked at other women at parties, because I told myself I was being paranoid. Then I was not being paranoid. The signs were there. I just did not want to see them. Late nights at the office. Weekend meetings that did not exist. A new password on his phone. A distance I could not cross. I told myself it was stress. I told myself it was work. I told myself he loved me. I was wrong. It was a Tuesday. Ordinary. Unremarkable. He left his phone on the nightstand when he went to shower. He never did that. He was always careful. But that morning, he was in a hurry. He forgot. I picked it up. I do not know why. Maybe I had always known. Maybe I just needed proof there was no password. He had not even bothered to lock it. That was how little he thought of me. That was how sure he was that I would never look. I opened his messages, and there she was. Her name was Amber. She was 28. She worked at a gym near his office. Their messages went back 8 months. 8 months of good morning texts and good night calls. 8 months of her sending photos of herself in outfits I would never wear. 8 months of him telling her he would leave me soon, that he was only staying for the kids, that I did not understand him the way she did. I read every word, every lie, every betrayal. Every moment he had looked me in the eyes and told me he loved me while texting her under the table. When he came downstairs, I was sitting at the kitchen table with coffee. His phone was in my lap. He did not notice. He never noticed. He kissed my forehead, asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. Then he grabbed his keys, said he would be late, kissed the kids goodbye, walked out the door. I watched him drive away. Then I called a lawyer. Her name was Margaret Chen. She was the most expensive divorce attorney in the city. She had a reputation for being ruthless, for winning cases no one thought could be won, for destroying men who thought they were untouchable. I found her through a friend who had used her 5 years ago. That friend walked away with the house, the cars, and full custody. Her ex-husband walked away with debt and regret. I called Margaret that morning. She answered on the first ring. I told her everything. The affair, the 8 months of lies. The way he emptied our joint account last year for a business expense that never happened. The way he bought a car I never saw. The way he told his mistress he would leave me soon. Margaret listened. She did not interrupt. She did not offer sympathy. She just listened. Then when I finished, she said 3 words. Do not confront him. I asked why. She said, because he does not know you know. That is your power, use it. And she told me what to do. Document everything. Gather every financial record. Find every hidden account. Track every transaction. Do not let him see you change. Do not let him suspect anything. Play the wife until the moment you are ready to become the victor. I asked how long it would take. She said as long as you need, but when you move fast. I agreed. I paid her retainer. I went home, I made dinner, I smiled at my husband, I kissed him goodnight, and I started planning. For 6 weeks I played the perfect wife. I made his favorite meals. I laughed at his jokes. I let him believe I was still the woman he married. The woman who trusted him. The woman who would forgive anything. While he slept, I worked. I found bank accounts he did not know I knew about. I found credit cards he had opened in my name. I found the car he bought for her. I found receipts for hotels and restaurants and jewelry. I found everything. I documented every penny, every transaction, every lie. I also found the business records. David owned a construction company. He started it with money from my inheritance. Money my father left me when he passed. Money David promised to pay back. He never paid a cent. The company was in his name, but the money was mine. Margaret said that changed everything. She also found something I did not know. David had been hiding income for years. Underreporting to the IRS. Siphoning money into accounts I could not access. He was richer than he let me believe. And he was keeping it all for himself. Margaret smiled when I told her. She said that was the key. Tax fraud. hidden assets, financial infidelity. The court would not look kindly on a man who stole from his wife and lied to the government. Bombers. She said we had him. Margaret planned everything, every move, every document, every deadline. She told me to wait for the right moment. She said the best time to strike is when they feel safest, when they think they have gotten away with everything, when they are about to leave you for someone else. That moment came on a Friday. David came home with a new haircut and a new cologne. He said he had a business dinner. He said not to wait up. He kissed my cheek and walked out the door. I knew he was going to her. I knew because I had seen the messages. He was planning to tell her he was finally leaving me. They were going to celebrate. I waited 30 minutes. Then I called Margaret. She said file everything now. I signed the papers. She filed them electronically. Within an hour, David was served at the restaurant where he was eating with his mistress. And I got a text from him 5 minutes later, 3 words. I did not respond. What did you do? I did not answer. He came home an hour later, red-faced, shaking, demanding to know what was happening. I was sitting in the living room with a glass of wine. I looked at him. I smiled. I said, you should call your lawyer, David. And then I pointed to the door. You need to leave now. The locks change tomorrow morning. He screamed. He begged. He threatened. He cried. I watched him fall apart, and I felt nothing. When he finally left, I locked the door behind him. I walked upstairs. I climbed into bed. I slept better than I had in years. The divorce took 9 months. 9 months of lawyers and depositions and court dates. 9 months of David trying to hide what he had done. 9 months of Margaret exposing every secret he thought was safe. He tried to fight at first. He hired a lawyer. He claimed I was the one who cheated. He claimed I was unstable. He claimed I was trying to ruin him out of spite. None of it worked. Margaret had evidence. Bank statements, credit card receipts, hotel bookings, text messages, emails, photos, everything. She also had the IRS. David had been underreporting his income for years. Margaret made sure the tax authorities knew about it. They opened an investigation. Within weeks. His company started to crumble. Clients pulled out. Investors backed away. His reputation was destroyed. He begged me to stop. He called me crying. He said he was sorry. He said he would do anything. He said the kids needed him. Mats. I told him the kids needed a father who did not lie to them, who did not steal from their mother, who did not spend their college fund on hotel rooms for his mistress. He had no response. When the divorce was finalized, I got everything. The house, the cars, the bank accounts, full custody of our children. He got supervised visitation every other weekend and a mountain of debt. Margaret also secured a lien on his business. Whatever was left of it belonged to me until he paid back what he stole from my inheritance. He left the courthouse with nothing. No house, no money, no family, no future. I left with everything. It has been 2 years now. David lives in a small apartment across town. His business collapsed. His mistress left him when the money ran out. He sees our children 6 days a month, supervised by a court-appointed guardian. He tried to apologize once. He sent a letter, pages of excuses and regrets and promises to change. I read the first paragraph. Then I threw it away. Some apologies come too late. Some wounds do not heal. Some bridges do not need rebuilding. Our children are doing well. They struggled at first. They missed their father. They did not understand why he was gone. I told them the truth. Not all of it, but enough. They are old enough to know that their father made choices, choices that hurt our family, choices that had consequences. Bon, they still love him. I hope they always do. But they also see him clearly now. They see who he really is, not the man he pretended to be, the man he chose to become. I am doing well too. I rebuilt my life. I went back to work. I reconnected with friends I had lost during my marriage. I started traveling. I learned to be alone without being lonely. I also learned to forgive myself for not seeing the signs, for staying too long, for believing in someone who did not deserve my trust. That was the hardest part, harder than the divorce. Harder than the betrayal. Harder than watching my husband walk out the door. Mentor, learning to forgive yourself for loving someone who did not love you back. Here is what I learned from all of this. Love is not enough. You can love someone with everything you have, and they can still choose to hurt you, still choose to lie, Still choose to leave. Love does not protect you. You protect you. I also learned that silence is not peace. I spent years being quiet, years swallowing my doubts, years pretending everything was fine. I thought that was strength. I thought that was love. It was not. It was fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of starting over. Fear of admitting I had made a mistake. But here is the truth. Staying with someone who does not value you is the real mistake. Walking away is not failure. Walking away is survival. I took everything in the divorce, not because I wanted revenge, not because I wanted to punish him. I took everything because it was mine, my time, my money, my life. I gave him 12 years. I was not about to give him anything else. Some people will say I was cruel. Some people will say I went too far. Some people will say I should have been the bigger person. I do not care what those people think. They did not spend 12 years loving someone who was planning to leave. They did not read 8 months of messages between their husband and his mistress. They did not watch their children cry for a father who chose someone else. I am not cruel. I am done. So here is where I leave this story. David is still in that small apartment, still seeing the kids on supervised visits, still trying to rebuild something from nothing. I hope he finds peace eventually. Not for him, for our children. They deserve a father who is whole. I am in a new house now. A smaller house, a quieter house, a house I bought with my own money. My children have their own rooms. I have a garden. I have a dog. I have a life I built myself. I am dating again, slowly, carefully. I do not need a man. But I am open to someone who adds something to my life instead of taking from it. Band, if I could go back, would I do anything differently? Maybe I would have left sooner. I would have trusted my instincts. I would have known that I deserved better than a man who saw me as an option. Right. But I did not know that then. I know it now. And that is enough. If you are going through something similar, here is my advice. Do not wait for proof. Do not wait for them to change. Do not wait for them to choose you. Choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose your future. And when you leave, do not look back. Do not let them make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. Do not let them rewrite your story. You know what happened. You know what you survived. You know what you deserve. Take what is yours. Every penny. Every memory. Every piece of yourself they tried to take, and then walk away. Do not explain. Do not justify. Do not look back. They will tell themselves a story about what happened. They will make themselves the victim. They will blame you for their choices. Let them. It does not matter anymore. You are free. Plan. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more tales of betrayal, survival, and the strength it takes to walk away. Click the bell for notifications. And remember, you are not what they did to you. You are what you chose to become after.